news.
I'm gonna come clean with you guys. I grew up in a Super Nintendo household. Now, my buddy down the street had a Genesis, and I'd go over to his house, and we'd play Genesis games. But that busted-up CRTV in Little Zoo's bedroom had a Super Nintendo attached to it, not a Sega. So when I decided to do a Sega Genesis showcase on the ARC D, I said, who's the biggest Sega fan that I know? Is it Aish? No. Is it Stubbs? No. It's my buddy Larry from the bar. So I got a hold of Larry. Who, oh, by the way, side nugget, before I was married, I used to go over to Larry's house in pregame. We'd play NBA Jam for 2 or 3 hours on his CRTV, and then we'd go to the bar. So me and Larry have some fond Genesis memories. They're a little hazy because of the aforementioned drinking, but they are fond. So I began a hilarious text exchange with good old Larry.
What are your top 15 Genesis games?
I have a spreadsheet at home. How soon do you need this information?
Ha 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 ha.
I can give you top 200.
Let's aim a little lower and go top 25.
Contra Hardcores, Sunset Riders, Earthworm Jim 2, Ghouls and Ghosts, Beyond Oasis, Shining Force, Thunder Force 3, Road Rash 2, Disney Aladdin, ToeJam and Earl, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Hyperstone Heist, Gunstar Heroes, X-Men 2.
Now those are all good suggestions, but I'm only going to do 10 on the ARC D. What is the ARC D, you might ask? Well, dummy, you should know this by now. It's the Anbernic Sega Genesis handheld. Oh, ain't she a beaut? So let's dive into this sucker, which was graciously provided to me by Go Game Geek. Thanks, Go Game Geek. So we're going to load this up, we're going to get those top 10 games on there, and we're going to go buck wild. The Sega Genesis, released in 1988, marked the beginning of a new era in video gaming. The Genesis, known as the Mega Drive outside of North America, which is important when you're figuring out which folder you're supposed to put your ROMs in, quickly became one of the most iconic and influential gaming consoles of its time. Boasting a 16-bit processor, the Genesis was a significant leap forward in terms of graphics and gameplay compared to its predecessors. This advancement allowed for more detailed and vibrant visuals, contributing to the console's success. Released in 1993, Rocket Knight Adventures is a side-scrolling platformer featuring Sparkster, a possum equipped with a rocket pack. Players navigate through levels filled with enemies and puzzles, utilizing Sparkster's unique abilities. Praised for its energetic gameplay, impressive graphics, and creative design, Rocket Knight Adventures is considered one of the standout platformers on the Sega Genesis. It's kinda weird, but I beat it during Game of the Month, and I can see why Retrobird is obsessed with it. NHL 94, ironically enough released in 1993, is a sports simulation game that captures the excitement of ice hockey on the Sega Genesis. Known for its realistic gameplay, intuitive controls, and multiplayer mode, NHL 94 remains a beloved title among sports gaming enthusiasts, offering an authentic and enjoyable hockey experience. Also released in 1993, Street Fighter II Special Champion Edition brought the iconic fighting game to the Sega Genesis. This edition included additional game modes and characters, allowing players to choose from a diverse roster of fighters and engage in intense one-on-one battles. With its smooth controls and competitive multiplayer, Street Fighter II Special Championship Edition became a classic in the fighting game genre. Fun fact, I used to play this on the demo console at Hills. Anyone from Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania remember Hills? I miss Hills. Oh, we're 4 for 4 because Shining Force 2 was also released in 1993. It's a turn-based tactical RPG that follows the story of a young hero defending the kingdom of Grand Seoul. The game features strategic battles, exploration, and a captivating narrative. With its deep gameplay mechanics, charming graphics, and a goofy cast of characters, Shining Force 2 is highly regarded as one of the best tactical RPGs on the Sega Genesis. Please vote for this if it ever shows up in Game of the Month. Please. Streets of Rage, released in 1991, is a classic side-scrolling beat-em-up game. Players take on the role of vigilante cops, that's never gone wrong, as they clean up the crime-infested streets of Unnamed Town. Known for its memorable soundtrack, cooperative multiplayer, and satisfying combat, Streets of Rage is a quintessential title in the beat-em-up genre, providing an engaging and nostalgic experience.
Released in 1994, Castlevania Bloodlines is a side-scrolling action game that finally brought the classic Castlevania series to the Sega Genesis. Players can choose between 2 characters, each with unique abilities, and then battle through levels filled with monsters and spooky, challenging bosses. Castlevania Bloodlines is notable for its intense action, atmospheric presentation, and the contribution to the legacy of the Castlevania franchise. I like this better than the one on the SNES. Don't like that, fight me. I don't care, do it. Released in 1991, ToeJam Earl is a weird game, man. It's an oddball action adventure that features the alien duo ToeJam and Earl. Players navigate through randomly generated levels, avoiding eccentric enemies and collecting spaceship parts. Known for its funky soundtrack and split-screen cooperative gameplay, ToeJam Earl stands out as a cult classic, offering a distinctive and entertaining experience. Phantasy Star IV, The End of the Millennium, which is 100% how you say it, was released in 1993. Ironically enough, 1993, not the end of the millennium. Anyway, the game combines a compelling narrative with turn-based combat, and it's all set against a futuristic science fiction backdrop. Neat. Players lead a group of characters through an epic quest to save the Algol star system. Praised for its engaging story, well-developed characters, and innovative techniques, Phantasy Star IV is often regarded as one of the best JRPGs of its era. Shinobi III: Return of the Ninja Master is an action-packed side-scrolling ninja game that was also released in 1993. 1993, big year for Sega. Players assume the role of Joe Musashi, a skilled ninja who's on a quest to defeat a criminal organization. Good for him. Praised for its tight controls, fluid animations, and intense gameplay, Shinobi 3 features diverse levels, each with its own set of challenges and memorable boss encounters. With its fast-paced action and impressive visuals, Shinobi 3 is considered a standout classic in the Shinobi series. I'm gonna level with you. It's a Sega showcase. You knew Sonic 3 and Knuckles was gonna be number 1. Released in 1994, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is a classic platformer that combines Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles into one seamless experience. Ooh! Players can choose to play as Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles, each with unique abilities, as they traverse through intricate levels filled with iconic enemies and challenging bosses. The game introduced the innovative lock-on technology, allowing players to connect both cartridges for an extended and enhanced adventure. Neat! Making it a landmark title in the Sonic series. You guys remember when you used to have like 4 things plugged into your console and they were all stacked, and if someone walked by too rough, like your game would turn off? Man, those were the days. So what do you think of my top 10? It's not really my top 10. Larry helped a lot. But what do you think? Let us know. I know that in the past you've liked these kind of showcase videos. Should we keep doing them? What happens when we run out of systems? Who knows? But what I do know is that the ARC is a solid option if you are a Sega fan in any way. I mean, look at this. Look at that D-pad. Look at these 6 buttons. Look at the shape of it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I wasn't even Sega man, and I love this. Now, what I will say, and this is kind of a negative, but if this is going to be your only 3566 device, you might want to think about it. Because the specific Sega-style ergonomics, which are awesome, and I love when companies do this, but these specific ergonomics kind of limit you if you want to play anything that requires 2 analog sticks, or if you want to play N64, because guess what? You don't have a stick. You have a D-pad. These could be your C buttons, and these could be your A and B, but you don't have that other stick. So games where you really need, like Star Fox 64, games where you really need an analog stick, you're going to be missing it. But if your prospective library is stuff that doesn't require analog stick, this is an excellent device. It's got a beautiful screen. It's got excellent ergonomics. I love this D-pad. I love it. It's amazing. And these buttons, I love them. I love how these ones are a little bit hollowed out and these ones are proud. It's just, you know what you're pressing as you're playing. You're not like, oh crap, was that A or B? You know what's going on. And yeah, it's just a quality 3566 device from Anbernic, but this is geared way, way, way towards Sega fans. So if you're a Sega fan, I'd say get it. And you can get it from Go Game Geek. Thanks again, Go Game Geek, for the mousepad and for this handheld. Pretty cool.